Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Mail Time video. Today we're going to be talking about Japanese versus English sets. Should you buy Japanese cards? Also, I've got a ton of mail to show you. It built up over a couple of days, so I have lots and lots to show off. Let's start off by opening up a pack of Shiny Star V and talking a little bit about Japanese cards. Sneak. So, let's see what we get. There's a code for you. No way, what do we get? Oh! What the hell, dude? Look at this Zamazenta. Oh my gosh. That was one pack. That's crazy, dude. Here. Oh my god, that's lucky. I was just going to talk to you guys about how Ninja Bread pulled one of these. Look, he pulled the Eternatus. Oh, this is perfect. You know what? This is so fitting, because I actually bought the Shield version of Sword and Shield. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. Well, that's crazy. I really did not expect that to happen. Let's get this Eldegoss as well. And, nothing, huh? Okay. Toss this over here. Excellent. So the question whether you should buy Japanese or not is really interesting. I would say you should buy Japanese. The main reason you would consider buying Japanese is because they seem to be releasing Japanese sets before English sets. Additionally, there's Japanese sets that are exclusive to Japan. So those are the two main reasons. The fact that one set can come out before the English set means that you can open those packs and flip the cards in the packs before it's even hit the English market. That's actually what convinced me to start selling them. So let me give you an example. We're going to jump right to the best card in mail time. This is the Tag Team All-Stars Charizard Reshiram. It's a golden card, and we never got this. Wow, that almost looks like a print line. Is that on the card? I can't actually tell if that's on the card. No, that's probably on the plastic case. Come on, PSA probably is the case. Well, anyways, so this is a golden Charizard Reshiram, and it's interesting. This came from the Tag Team All-Stars set. It looks like this. And there's a bunch of gold cards from this set, and so that would be a reason alone to consider picking this up, just because you're never going to get it in English. But the other interesting thing is, let's say you were to purchase this Zamazenta ahead of time and then sell it, flip it for a profit. Well, a lot of the times your ability to generate income from this hobby doesn't just come down to luck. It comes down to how many transactions you are performing. So let's say you could sell one card and make $50 a profit, or you could sell two cards and make, let's say, $35 a profit on each. So because you've got two transactions with a smaller profit margin, just the fact that you've done two rather than one means in the second scenario with the two transactions, you make more money. So you can actually drop your profit margins as long as your sales are going up. This in economics is basically, this is a sort of equilibrium that a lot of companies try to reach, like Oreos, for example. Here, let me get up. I love doing drawings. Let me show you. So you have a chart like this, and you'll have supply and demand, and this is the equilibrium right in the middle, right? Basically, as you raise your costs for the item you're trying to sell, the number of people buying it will actually drop. So this is your price dropping. And this is the demand for the item as well. When you lower the price of that item, more people will buy it, but your profit margin will be smaller. So you're trying to hit right in the middle where you sell as many as possible, sell as many at the highest margin. Sell as many at the highest margin. But if you raise your price too much, what happens is there tends to be an exponential curve line where the number of customers you'll get will actually drop off pretty hard. Whereas if you drop the price too low, you don't make enough profit margin for it to really make sense for you to keep selling that item at that profit margin. So you have to raise your you have to raise your prices, and you're trying to hit this little X in the middle. That's what you're trying to hit. So with the Japanese cards, as I said before, they're hitting. Oh, there's some sunlight coming in. No sunlight allowed. As this set releases before the English version, you can actually get additional transactions done in the Japanese set before the English version hits the market. So you've already made some profit, and then the English version hits the market, and you can make even more profit. So I'd be careful with the term investing, though. I don't really consider it investing. I consider it flipping or just trading, right? Remember being a little kid trading Pokemon cards? This is like that, except a little more complicated and with a lot more verbiage. So when it comes to investing, there are Japanese cards to invest in, really old ones, and I would definitely consider Japanese cards investable. Let me show you one of the best ones you can invest in real fast. I have it in my box right behind me. Okay, here we go. So this card is so loved that people will buy this even in English. In fact, you have two markets. You've got the English market and the Japanese markets. So this tends to not sell for as much as the first edition Charizard in English, and that's because, I don't know, maybe there's more English shoppers, maybe we got deeper pockets, or maybe we just like doing the whole PSA grading more than Japan does. Whatever the case is, there's plenty of English buyers who will buy this, and then there's Japanese buyers as well. The trick, as always, is to get the card at the appropriate price. You know, you could buy really any card as long as the price is low enough, right? So you might not make a lot from, let's say, this Hollow Xerneas, but if you could get it for a penny, you might still buy it because you could sell it for, who knows, 55 cents. So it doesn't matter what you're buying. If the price is right, you can still buy it. But to answer your question about investing in Japanese, I think the future for vintage Japanese cards is really bright. They typically went under the radar, and that's changing. People are recognizing that Japanese cards are pretty investable. And again, when we say investable, we're talking about old Japanese cards. When we talk about modern ones, you can do a lot of trading with Japanese cards because there are people who will collect the Japanese cards just to have it early. Wow, really cool that we opened that. Hope that answers your question. Let's bring this guy back out. I wanted to talk about something that I noticed when I was doing an analysis of the card. So, by the way, first of all, take a look at the margins on the left and right side of the card. Definitely looks thinner on this side than that side, and they still graded it a 10 as recently as 4 or 5. I don't know. Do you think CGC would have given it a 10? Maybe not. I want to talk about the price. I got it for $1,160. That was, we checked this price, $11.20. And this is my new strategy for checking population. So there's 176 of them, PSA 10, and 31 PSA 9. So from now on, I'm not just going to keep track of the 10s, but also the 9s to understand the grading ratio. So this grading ratio shows us that you're much more likely to get a 10 than a 9 when you send this card into grade. That'll help you understand how many you expect of these to be in the population, let's say 20 years from now. So 20 years from now, a lot more of the Tag Team All-Stars would have been finished being opened, and this number will blow up. Who knows, to maybe 500, 700, is hard to say. And you can expect most of them to come out as 10s. So this helps you understand how many of these there really are and what the rarity will be like. But we don't know how many of these Nintendo's going to print. That's the tricky part. Hopefully not a lot, right? So you got to be careful with saying modern cards are investable. There's a lot of YouTubers out there saying that. I don't really agree with that term. I think you can trade them, you can flip them, whatever you want to call that. There's definitely a market, but an investment, it's not like a stock, you know, that pays a dividend. Whenever this stops going up in price, people are going to start pulling their money out, in my opinion. I've heard the term retrace get used. I don't know how I feel about that term either. Let me go ahead and put this over here. Look at that Charizard. He's so beautiful. Man, look at this. I'm going to open this too. Where's my scissors? Oh, here they are. God, this is so nice looking. We're going to have a Tag Team All-Stars. We did so well here. I can't believe I just pulled that Zamazenta. I just grabbed one off the top of the pile to get ready for this video. I wasn't even thinking about it. Okay, we got Mewtwo, just a Mewtwo. Here's a Giratina. I kind of like this card. Think I ought to grade that? Kyurem. We'll definitely grade the Mewtwo. I like the Mewtwo a lot. So Mewtwo will go out. Yeah, I mean, the artwork still looks really cool. And again, I just want to point out the fact that there's always going to be a Japanese market you can sell to. So even if the Japanese cards are better centered than the English and tend to get 10s more often, it's not like it has no value. Even just doing the labor of getting it graded and the time value of getting it graded, right? Like, people don't want to sit around to have their card graded. So they'll pay a premium just to have a PSA slab on this card right away, rather than getting one themselves, sending it off to PSA, that's labor, right? And then getting it back 9 months later. They'll pay a premium just for that. It's very interesting. Okay, let's take a look at what I got in the mail. We're already 10 minutes in. So, as usual, I'm always scooping up a few hollows off the market, a few old vintage cards. This one's pretty worn out, probably not that rare. That's right, because it's an unlimited Aerodactyl and is scratched up. But that's okay, because one of the things I've learned is that when it comes to graded cards, people will actually very excitedly purchase some cheaper ones. So let's say this guy was just, when it's done grading, maybe $100. Somebody will still buy it. It's really interesting. Here's a Growlithe from the Legendary Collection. Legendary Collection is something I've been keeping an eye on. I don't expect to have a PSA 10 Legendary Collection anytime soon. I'd love to have the 10 Charizard. I wonder if somebody would be willing to do a nice trade with me. Oh, this one's in decent condition. Man, I'd be open-minded to trading one of my vintage boxes for the Legendary Collection Fireworks Reverse Hollow Charizard, because I do not have one of those, and I have quite a few of the vintage boxes. Put this in here. Yeah, trade's nice because you don't pay taxes on a trade. Look at that Growlithe. Maybe some bigger collectors will hear me say that, or somebody will mention it to them. Put this over here. Put this over here. Yeah, I need that rainbow. I said it again. Fireworks Charizard. I got some booster packs, some vintage booster packs. So I'm bringing them back in. I haven't been selling booster packs in a while because, especially after the base set 2 box, you know, we had this thing happen where the price was moving so fast, I ended up refunding people and not opening it because I still owned half of the box, and I felt so bad about that. I was like, you know, I'm never selling vintage again. But I'm changing my mind on that. We are going to sell vintage again. We're just going to sell it differently. We're going to stick to stuff like these Japanese vintage packs. We've got Gym 2, that's what it's called in Japanese, but we call it Gym Challenge in English. And this set is insanely good. It's got the Sabrina's Gengar in it. It's got the Blaine's Moltres in it. Of course, in the English version, those went into Gym Heroes, the previous set. I think they did that because Gym Heroes just didn't have enough hits in it. But there's so much in this pack, including like the, what is it called? Names Chansey. That's exclusive to Japanese. Sabrina's Frick, that's a banned card. And I think there's another one. I can't remember. Hard to remember. But yeah, this is a fantastic set, so I bought a few booster packs for us to open up together. I'll get a price on them. It's going to be a little above the market. You know, if you don't like that, you can head over to the market and buy them for yourself. But I do this as a business and as a content creator, so when you purchase one of these off of my channel, you do it to support me. Woohoo! Look at all that Gym Challenge. It's beautiful. Now, I also have... We just opened one of these. It was Fortnite Focus, actually. Fortnite Focus... Man, he's a big YouTuber, and he popped over and he opened some lovely vintage, including this Crobat. He opened this 2 nights ago. This is Crystal Golbat from a Skyridge pack, and it's first edition. Look at that. So he opened this just the other night. I've got to priority ship this over to him, but I wanted to make sure we showed it off before he left. And then he had also opened up Team Rocket. Unfortunately, in his Team Rocket pack, he got a non-hollow trainer, which is a worst-case scenario. You know, if you're going to get a non-hollow, hopefully Blastoise, Dragonite, you know, Charizard if you're really lucky. Well, we have another pack right here. We could open this. I'll consider it. Or I could send it off to grade. Either of those options get me very excited. I'm very aroused. We bought this recently from our friend Temlet. You guys remember Temlet? Temlet made a fantastic profit on this. I believe he told me he sold it, or he bought it when it was back, like, I think he said $75. I can't remember. But this pack absolutely increased in price over time for him. So he made a nice fat profit on it, and he sold it to me. We might open it. Otherwise, I might just preserve it. It's really cool. This is the first time I've had like a blister, you know what I mean? Like in the old cardboard boxes. For those of you who don't know why they started selling it this way, it's because so many kids were stealing the cards. So you could run up, grab this guy, and throw him into your short pocket, right? If you're wearing like khaki shorts. And it just must have been very easy. So they're like, you know what we need? We need some huge chunks of cardboard to make it much harder to steal these. So yeah, they started doing that. Actually, I guess I don't have 100% evidence that was the case, but I think I remember looking it up online at some point. Why did they start putting these as cardboard? And the response was that there were too many people stealing them. Too many thieves. We're all thieves. And now I have a few PSA slabs to show off. This is the Burning Shadows PSA 10 Charizard. As you guys know, I have the Rainbow Charizard from that same set. Let me grab it real fast. I have 2 of them because I consider them such great cards. So these are cards I would actually, I'm doing the air quotes again, invest in. So these are Burning Shadows Charizards, and the issue with them is we know that the print run was really screwed up on these. There's a little bit of a gamble here. If Nintendo decides to truly reprint Burning Shadows, and they do a good job reprinting it, meaning they don't have the cutting error, I imagine the value of these will fall and I will just lose money. If they don't do that, I will make a lot of money because my gamble will have been a good gamble. Okay, so a little bit of risk. I've got the GX10. You know, even if the price falls, I don't think it'll fall by a lot. They're still pretty hard to pull and they look great. So these were purchased a while ago, but this is my first of the GX Charizards from that set. And would I recommend buying him? Yeah, I would. You know, whenever a YouTuber talks about how they feel about the market, you should kind of ignore their words and kind of look at what they're actually buying. That's my opinion. We also have this lovely PSA 7 Charizard Hollow. I was doing an analysis and thought that he was pretty underpriced, so I picked him up. And I might make this guy available in the large eventually. Yeah, he's really nice. He's a PSA 7. He looks very presentable. Here's an Expedition 9 Skarmory Reverse Hollow. I was really, actually, the reason I purchased this one, I remember, I considered him underpriced in the market as well. So that was the reason I purchased him up. And this PSA 10 Shining Mew, which was about $100 cheaper than all these Shining Mews. So basically, these three purchases were me doing some careful shopping. And I've gotten better at it over time. You know, I've gotten good at recognizing when cards are probably underpriced. Yep, pretty lovely. All of these are eligible to go into our custom booster pack games because I want to have stuff for you guys. We're still waiting, of course, on PSA to send our cards back. PSA has been very slow, and hopefully we get an order back soon. It's crazy. Even Mahasvar has been waiting, I think, like seven full months for his submission to come back. It was a large submission. It's just taking them forever. It's been grading for a really long time. Well, anyways, when they come back, I'll have tons of PSA cards for sale again. In the meantime, I have sent some cards off to CGC for the very first time. And so those will come back hopefully in 1 month and supplement our graded cards that we can sell. My understanding of CGC is that they're very hard graders. They use, I've been told they use a computer to grade the cards, especially for off-centeredness. And so I understand that CGC is a very tough grader. That's a good news because if you ever want to regrade the card with a PSA label or a Beckett label, you can at least rely on the grade probably being consistent or maybe even low. You know what I mean? So like CGC might be low, and if you send it to BGS or PSA, it might go up a little bit. That's not something I've experimented with yet, so, you know, I'm a skeptic. Let me mention this, though. Recently, we took one of JC's Blaine's Charizards. It got a 9. We sent it back to PSA. It came back a 10. So there's definitely some inconsistency at PSA. On TikTok, on my TikTok account, if you scroll down, you can actually see me breaking JC's Charizard out of the case, and then I resubmitted that exact Charizard, came back 10. So they're definitely going to have to, you know, I guess what I mean to say is I've lost a little trust with PSA because of that. You know, they're supposed to be an authority on grading. The grade needs to be consistent. And to me, there must have been human error there. Either the first grade was wrong or the second grade was wrong. Of course, I think the first grade was wrong. When I looked at the Blaine's Charizard, he looked like he fit within their rules for PSA 10. So must have been a borderline case on their end. And then, of course, when we sent it back, it got the better grade. Let me put these in my Charizard box, my ever-growing Charizard box. Take a last look at all. Oh, by the way, somebody sent me these for fun. Metazu, huh? One of the guys who sent me cards today, he included some free Metazu cards, and I guess this was like a startup. Look at this. Dragon's Breath, Bigfoot, holographic. They look cute. It's kind of funny. They're so obscure. I'd never heard of them before. And yeah, I guess they're just some sort of startup company trying to get into the trading card game. I looked up their prices. They don't really have any value. I've never heard about them in a very long, it's been like almost 2 years I've been doing this, and I've never heard of this before. So it just shows you how tough it is, I guess, to start up a serious trading card company. There's the Flesh and Blood group as well, you know, and I've heard them talked about several times. I've seen their cards. It doesn't really get me excited either. It just reminds me of Magic. In fact, it actually makes me think of what a great position Pokemon's in, because when I see this card, I go, damn, that looks great. When I see like Flesh and Blood or this Metazu thing, I go, wow, that looks kind of crappy. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to trash talk them. Some of you guys are probably more optimistic about new sets than I am, new trading card companies than I am, but I'll probably be sticking to Pokemon, obviously, and they really do have something special. I don't think Pokemon's got any competition at all to this day. It's really wild. It's really wild. It's been 25 years, and they don't have any serious competitors. Where am I even going to store this? I don't even know where to store this. I don't want the cardboard to get bent. Fortnite Focus, I've showed your bag off now. I can get this shipped. I can get it shipped. And these, take a look out for these Gym Challenge packs. It's possible the next round of the large is for one of these. And, you know, all 10 cards or 11 cards in the pack will be gradable, because that's how popular vintage is these days. Especially if you pull something nice like a Blaine's Charmander, Blaine's Charmeleon. Those Those common and commons are so gradable. All right, well, thank you very much. Leave your comments in the comment section. Hopefully we can get more and more of these types of videos out to you guys. Thank you very much.